You know what the biggest thing is that all my audience tells me?
What?
I interrupt a lot. So what I want you to do this episode, I'm listening to my audience. I want you to put me in my place.
Yeah, shut up. It's my turn to talk.
Okay, well, let's hear what you got to say. Shit. Welcome back to the Mike Chandler Show. This is episode 5. I'm here with a special guest today from Ohio. And before we get into her introduction, I want to let you guys know, don't forget the Chandelier VIP Club landing page. We thought it was going to be live last episode. It might be live this episode, but you don't want to miss it. A lot of exclusive one-on-one content that I want for you, the subscriber. You have to give me a little bit of money to come in on this because there's a lot of goodies in there. So pay attention on my landing page. You'll see it. The Chandelier VIP Club. We're doing giveaways. We're doing quarterly parties. There's a lot of fun, action-packed stuff inside of that. You want to get in there and you want to join. But today we have Miss Tiffany from Ohio, and she's all nervous. So I want you guys to make her feel comfortable. Come on, make her feel comfortable. Are you nervous?
A little bit.
So how do you want me to introduce you? We talked about it a little bit. Miss Tiffany here. I'm going to call her Miss Tiffany. She's from Ohio. She has a side hustle. She's thinking about turning into a business. She works. Where do you work?
I work at a bar.
Yeah, you don't have to say where.
High-class
exactly.
restaurant.
I just want to know
As
what
a
you do.
bartender.
Making big money every week because look at her. Look at her. She's high maintenance, pretty woman, and she's making them tips. How'd you hear about the show?
I followed Mike for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned a lot about his racing and his story, and I just think you were funny, and I think that we could vibe a good conversation.
He was like, "Well, hell not. Why not? I'll just come."
Why not?
Well, hell not.
I mean,
why
high
not?
Maintenance, I match your vibe.
Yeah. So
high
I heard I didn't get to see it, but you told me a little bit, and I've seen her live before. She's a big TikTok girl. She does a lot of the TikToks and the trends, and you do. I see you on there a lot.
Yeah.
So you were live today. Tell the viewers what happened in your live today.
Oh man,
That someone called you what?
High maintenance.
I mean, look at you, nails, heels.
But again,
yeah, I mean, I could say other things, but I'll leave it alone.
Do you consider a woman who takes care of herself and respectful of her worth and her view, and her beauty and her hygiene? Is that really high maintenance?
No, I just think that a lot of men get intimidated by a woman that values herself.
Agree.
Is very confident in who she is and what she looks like.
Agreed.
She wants to be, present herself as a
successful, yeah,
sexy,
fair
pretty.
enough.
And I think a lot of guys are intimidated by that, and that's where you hear the high maintenance.
Right, but I also think that when a man to me says high maintenance, it's because he's afraid he can't afford me.
That could be there's different ways of saying high maintenance. That is another aspect to it. He may not think he levels up to other guys he's looking at you. You present yourself well.
Yeah.
You take care of yourself. Your nails are done. You got the heels on. Your skin's looking good. Your hair's done. Everything is. He's like, well, fuck, I ain't got a chance with this girl.
Right.
So you got to put yourself in his shoes.
Yeah.
So but he shouldn't come and say, oh, this is Miss High Maintenance.
But I also think that beauty
That's
is only
nasty,
skin
right?
deep.
Okay.
This is gonna fade.
Mm-hmm.
My heart is not. And that's something that I feel like we have got to, we've fallen apart in. The whole 90 days, or the 90 vibe of love. The reason we don't have that 90s...
What do you mean 90?
You know how people, listen to 90s country? And
I listen to it every day.
Well, but people are like, we'll never have that 90s love.
Oh, you're talking about a hopeless romantic.
Yeah, but we don't have that because...
It's coming back this year, 2026.
Well, I sure hope so because I'm
I've been
looking for
talking
my
about
husband.
Yeah, it's going to come back. It's going to make a comeback.
But the reason we don't have that in today's world is because people don't put in the same effort.
And I really do think, it sounds so cliche, but I'm going to tell you, viewers, I really do think this is the reason. And yeah, I know for a fact it is. It's too many options because of the social media. And that sounds so cliche, but it's the truth.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay, so if you talk to a guy before and then as soon as he doesn't give you the attention that you're looking for, because, again, I'm not saying you're high maintenance, but do you require a lot of attention?
I think I require clarity. I understand that we are busy as a mom of working 2 jobs. And I truly think that it takes nothing to say, hey, hope you're having a good day, or good night, or there doesn't have to be anything in between per se, because I do think that we are living a life and success is thriving, and we don't always have to put effort into something necessarily every minute of every day. But I do think if you wanted to, you would. And if that person's a priority, they're going to know it.
Right.
It doesn't have to be a constant messaging. We're too grown for that. I think that is where relationships may fall short. Is I don't have to know what you're doing. I don't need you to share your location. If there isn't trust, it's not gonna go anywhere anyhow. But I do think that making me feel a priority is special.
If you're talking to a guy,
Mm-hmm.
you went on a date,
Yeah.
and you go on a date, and then y'all are texting 3 days after, and then
Mhm.
there's 2 days in a row his energy went down.
Yeah,
He's
you
not
can
like,
feel that.
yeah, you can tell that. Are you moving on?
I wouldn't say that I ever move on like
Yeah.
that per se. Like my dating life has been short to none lately, just because I feel like I have really tried to concentrate on the self growth of myself and like learning to re-love myself. But I mean, do I reciprocate energy? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm way too grown to keep showing my face to someone who obviously doesn't want to see it. If you can go 2 days without speaking to me, I'm not a priority.
What I've seen, and this could be a problem. You could help me with my problem. With dating is, I'm a very busy guy. I'm an entrepreneur. I've got several things going on, and I don't know if you heard me before we got on the show here. We had a meeting. We might be eliminating a lot of things that I have going on so I can focus more on my media and a few
Yeah.
other things, because I do have a lot going on.
For sure.
And if I go on a date with someone and I show the energy because it's the weekend, I have more free time.
Yeah.
And then I'm texting and we're in a good conversation. And the week comes, I've got my son, I've got my businesses,
Yeah.
and that energy goes down. I sense that the girls that I've talked to in the
They
past,
pull away.
yeah, and they're like, okay, well, his energies went away. He's not interested in me like that, or he's just playing games. And I'm like, no, I really am really busy. But then again, you're like, well, you're not busy enough to send me a text and say, hey, I've got a lot going on today, sweetheart. Let me, whatever, sweetheart, honey, whatever. Talk to me.
Yeah.
Can we text later? And if I don't do that, I see a lot of women. They're just done. They're done. I've seen they jump to conclusion.
I definitely think that you could do more. I get it. Like maybe your life is
So what's my
busy.
problem? So I'm just not
I
communicating.
think you need to communicate better. And I think that a woman would appreciate that. If you were busy, that's
Maybe
fine.
I'm just not ready to date. What do
Maybe
you
you're
think?
not.
Just got too much going on, not ready to date.
Maybe, but you know what? I always say like a chance not taken is an opportunity missed.
Okay. Well, let's hear some of your dating stories. What is like? Let's hear recent. Let's hear most recent. Most recent. Like give us some dates that you've went on, and then let's hear the before, lead up, the during, like the date, and then the after.
So, obviously, I've not been in a relationship for a long while. I have dated. They've not been very successful.
Why?
I feel like I'm too picky. And I will put that on me 100%.
Okay, appearance. That's a lot to do with it, right?
I do feel like I have to be attracted to you somewhat. Physically, somewhat.
What's your icks?
Huh?
What's your icks? Ick.
My ick is a man not opening the door, paying the bill. That's an immediate ick. But you may
Let's go back to that open the door part.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to open the door in the restaurant and all that, but what about the car?
No, I don't mind.
No. I'll open the door in the car. I mean, I can't, like I said, but there's certain situations where you can't just run over.
No.
Like a lot of cars, you have to get in on the driver's door
if we are
first.
walking in a restaurant and you don't let me go before you, that's a problem.
Oh, yeah. And you actually got guys that do that?
There is guys like that. Like
I've
the
never
last
done that.
date that I had went on, believe it or not, it was a complete ick. He drove up to see me.
That's a good thing. He drove to see you, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to say
That's
where he
a
was
positive.
from. However, when he got there, obviously I was dressed up. I looked pretty high maintenance. He was like, the first thing he said to me was, I wish you would have gave me a dress code. I don't match your energy. So that immediate set the tone. I was like, okay. First and foremost, I don't think a man needs a dress code, and I am me. I will be honest.
What are you going to tell a guy on the first date how to dress? I mean, you should know that,
kind of
right?
Like where I was at. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm in a skirt. I'm in a very sexy, sleek shirt. I had lipstick on, but it was nothing out of my normal. I think that he
if he followed your profile or your
Yes.
dating profile, he's going to see that.
Right. And I think that he had thought I was trying to outdo him or one up him. He was a very much of a pretty boy. So we get in the car, we drive my car first of all, and that was kind of like an ick to me, but I was like, okay, we'll be fine. It is what it is. And so we get
Make
to
sure
the
you drive
restaurant.
your car, guys.
We get to the restaurant and the bill comes and it was $130. And she kind of sat it in the middle. First of all, as a server, I would never, ever set the bill in the middle of the table. I always hand it to the man.
Right.
And if they're not together, he'll be like, oh, split the check.
Yeah.
But I think it's a common respect. So I obviously was kind of in a mood because we drove my car, the comments he had said. Anyhow, he doesn't pay the bill.
Right.
So I look at him and I'm like,
Wait a minute. He's not paying the bill.
He did not pay the bill. It sat there and I was like, are we splitting the bill? And he's like, we can. And I was like, you know what? At this point, I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to pay the bill because I'm going to, like, that's just how I am. If you feel like we need to split it, I'll just pay it because that's who I am. So
okay. Well, how old was this guy? Can you give me that?
43.
So I feel like a 43-year-old man is going to pay the bill unless he's like turned over a new leaf and he's trying something new on first dates and seeing where you're at.
Agree. So I immediately...
I would never do it. I've never done it in my life and never will. I'm not taking a woman's time and not paying the bill.
As I think that's how it should be.
That's just a Southern gentleman in me.
I'm not afraid to pay the bill. But it was just like, you pursued me. You got a hold of me. You are the one who wanted this. You chased me. And now we're here and you show up and you're not the man that you said you were. So we left and...
Whoa. Who paid the bill?
I did.
The full bill?
I paid the full bill.
And what'd he say?
Nothing.
No, bullshit.
No, nothing.
I really think you're making this up for the podcast.
I had friends that was at the dinner. It was one of my
43-year-old man made you pay the whole bill?
Yes.
On a first date?
Yes.
A first date?
First date.
Don't lie to me.
First date. We had FaceTime.
I don't get it. I don't understand that at all. So what's going on?
That was my immediate ick.
Okay,
so then on our way back to where we had met at originally, dead silence in the car. Nothing. Like not a word spoken.
Then you done something. What'd you do?
I don't know. Apparently I intimidated him.
Yeah.
And so we get back.
Just kidding.
And
viewers.
I was like, you know what? Like, honestly, I just don't think we had the chemistry. And may I mind you, I'm finally at that growth where I'm not afraid to tell a man how I feel. Before, I would cover my own feelings and be like, oh, like, give him another chance. Like, you know, he has good in him. And I was like, no, like, I'm not settling anymore. So anyhow, we get back to where we're at. And I look at him and I'm like, you know what? I apologize for wasting your time. Furthermore, I apologize for you wasting mine. But I just don't feel the chemistry. And he's like, can we talk about it? And I'm like, we just drove 45 minutes back. And you had not a word to say. So therefore, I don't think there's anything left to say.
Was this your most recent date?
Most recent.
So it's happened within a couple months?
Yeah.
A couple weeks?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You still talking?
No. So then he wrote me a couple days later and he's like, you're amazing, Tiffany. Like there's something, I see something in you that I haven't seen in a lot of women lately. Like, please hear me out. And I'm like, no, like I sent crickets. And I was like, I don't mean to be that person that doesn't think your voice is meant to be heard. But at the same time, like you showed me who you are. And at that point, like when someone shows you who you are, I'm learning to see them for their true character.
Right.
Again, that is a lot of self-growth that I have been, dealing with. And that's something that before I would have just overlooked. And I have not spoke to him since. And like, no bad wishes to him. But at the same time, like, I wish you well. It is what it is. And I'm not for you. Maybe that makes me high maintenance, but I think that's the bare minimal.
No. Going back to your TikTok live, I think the high maintenance is, what were you doing?
Putting my makeup on.
You're putting your makeup on, your hair, you're getting your hair done, you got your nails, you got your skin, everything's looking good, your lashes. I mean, guys get intimidated. And honestly, I think guys on TikTok Live are just saying that to get attention from you. So,
well, sure, everybody wants a reaction, correct?
Yeah.
Do you say something to women and not want a reaction?
No, I want a reaction.
For sure.
Yeah. So what about if a guy expresses to you that it's like, it's one of his things. He would love to have another child. He's in his mid-30s, even early 30s, because you said you like to date younger men. Mm-hmm. What's the youngest guy you dated, by the way, real quick?
32.
That's a lie.
It's not.
That's a lie.
I don't even entertain.
You've dated younger than 32.
I have not.
Come on, Tiffany.
My kid's dad is 8 years older than me. I've always went older.
Why?
I got married at 17 and he was 8 years older than me.
I mean, why not try? Like, that's the thing right now. Because everybody on TikTok, like all the 30-something, 40-something women are like, you got to try the 25-year-old, the 24-year-old, the 26-year-old.
There is nothing that intrigues me.
I know, but they're acting like they're more mature than like somebody my age. And they got their shit together. Maybe you are.
But I physically cannot be attracted to a man.
What about if he's got his shit together? What about if he's got his business and he's 24 and he's very successful and he started early? You're going to give him a chance?
No. Like, I just physically, like, thinking.
Come on.
That's awkward to me.
All right. So you're a good-looking 24, 25, 26-year-old man out here. Successful, got his shit together. No kids. No ex-baby mamas.
I'm 11 years older than him.
No ex-baby mamas. He's got his shit together. You're not giving him a chance. That's
no,
a
I'm not
damn
interested.
lie.
I'm just
The
not interested.
kid, I call him a kid. The guy, I shouldn't call him a kid because he's a mature, got his shit together. Got Elvis slicked back hair, no bald spot.
Yeah,
got his
perfect,
fit
beautiful.
on. He looks, he's like, damn, like this is you,
Yeah.
And you're telling him no. He's like, Tiff, let's go on a date like this weekend. Like he runs into you like at your work. At your work, he says something smooth.
I've had that.
He's confident.
I've had
So
that.
what do you tell him?
I really don't tell them anything. I just don't put my energy in it, which they eventually get the clue.
So maybe that might be your problem. Maybe try younger guys.
Maybe I'll think about that, but that's a tough one for me considering.
So what's
I
the
have
sweet spot for you? The age range?
I mean, I would
give me a
like to
10-year.
say 35 to 45.
Okay, that's your sweet spot.
Mhm.
Okay, what's like a no? Age wise?
30 and below.
No.
Higher?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 45 and up.
You're not dating a 49-year-old man that's got his shit together and looks.
And I have friends who are like, Tiffany, you need to date older. But I don't know what it is.
I'm saying you might need to try a younger guy.
I mean, apparently I need to just
because
try it all.
you have high energy.
Yeah.
You're very well fit.
But-
you got yourself. I feel like a younger guy would be very attracted to you. Maybe give him a chance.
But I also feel like, again, back to the whole kid thing. I don't want to take
I
that
get
away
that.
from someone.
I understand that
and
too.
I am not.
But what about if it's a younger guy? It's like, hey, I just I grew up in a a family where I've seen a lot of kids go through this and that, and I just don't want to bring a kid into the world because I went through a lot of trauma and I just don't want that. I mean,
okay, and I can somewhat relate, but at the same time, no man that I've ever met that falls in love with a woman doesn't want a family of his own. Could be, yes.
And I think that and that's
and I would be taking that away from
not
him.
to take this podcast a little bit and veer it back towards me, like everyone says, oh my God, interrupt, talk about Mike. But that has a lot to do with why I think I'm still single. Because I am an older, I'm 38, I'm going to be 40 soon. And I think that I still want another child.
Yeah.
I've got Griffin, my only son, and I've always thought I would have 2 or 3 kids. And I'm the only one that I think that, Griffin can carry the family name on. I'd like to have another boy and a girl, but I mean, at this age, do you think that's? I mean, is that still possible for me? I mean, yeah.
Nothing's impossible. People have children up until they're 50 or plus. Like, I don't think that that's impossible, but I think you need to be a little rational. Like, do you think you're going to meet someone close to your age that wants that?
Not in say I would meet someone close to my age, but you just sat there and said you would date somebody 10 years older than you.
What is your
age
limit?
Whoa. So I'm 38. What about if you were 28? You dating a 38-year-old?
Probably.
Okay.
But
when you were 28 and you wanted 2 kids.
Acceptable.
I know. But what if I meet a 28-year-old that wants 2 kids?
I think that's perfect.
Okay. Well, then I got what I, what I wanted. Yeah. What I thought I wanted.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with why I'm still single, because I've got this thing in my head like, hey, I'd like to have at least one more kid. And I've met a lot of good women that I went on dates with that have they've raised their kids. They've done that, and I relate with them very well. On business, on values, religion, whatever it may be. I'm like all in line with them. But when it comes to the kid thing, they're like, I'm sorry, Mike, I don't want another kid. I've already done this, and I'm like, shit. And in the back of my head, I'm like, man, I really like this girl. I really would love to see something happen with her, but I really want another kid.
Well, and I think that's a boundary that maybe you shouldn't give up on.
I know, and I haven't. And that's why I'm still single. And that's not the only reason. Let's be real. That's not the only reason. Another reason is, and here we go. This podcast is turning into you interviewing me, but I think it helps with the podcast where we're going. I'm very busy, and that's an excuse. I get it, but I'm trying to grow these businesses. I'm trying to grow the media, and I don't know. Let's just go back to you. Let's not go into me. Anyways, where were we? We're talking about you dating.
My age,
your age gap.
Kids.
Like you'll go 10 years younger. Which is, you haven't said your age.
37.
You're 37?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were like 34.
Well, thanks. Turned 37 on Saturday.
Wow. Okay. Got it going on right here. Miss 37-year-old MILF in the house, cougar. So be careful. I'm calling her a cougar, but she's not going to give younger guys a chance. What's the breaking point you said?
30.
27?
Lower 30s. No.
27?
No.
What's the fetish with me trying to get you with
What
a younger
is
guy?
that? I guess like I mean I guess I got to meet a really
Well,
good
no. You was
27-year-old.
talking about it. You were like, I've tried. I've been dating guys
I
in their
have.
30s and 40s, and it's not worked. So I was like, well, maybe try a younger guy.
Well, I guess maybe that's what I need to try, but I'm not openly.
Well, that's the trend right now.
Yes, and I just
Women
can't
in
get
their
behind
30s
it.
are dating 21 to like 25,
Yeah, but there's
26 year
also
old.
women that are my age that are dating 50 and 60-year-olds.
Yeah, but it's more the younger guys now. They're
just
saying
can't
the
see
younger
it.
guys actually
And I
got
may
their
get
shit together more.
And I may get hate for that, like not wanting to date younger guys, but I'm just not attracted to a younger man.
Okay. Well, we've been talking, usually I start these podcasts off talking about, who you are, what you're about. But we started off a little different today. We started off talking about a little bit of your dating and your ex and stuff like that. Well, let's go into who Tiffany is. Like, let's do a little dating bio. What would your dating profile bio say? What's Tiffany? What do you do? Where are you from? What you're looking for, your hobbies, your interests. Let's hear it. Kids, let's hear it.
So I am a single mama of 3.
Mm-hmm.
I have a 19-year-old who is attending Ohio State. She's studying to be a dentist. I have a 17-year-old who's a senior in high school and a 14-year-old son who is just a stinker. We're just figuring out life. I have a side hustle, my own nail business. I do roughly 10 to 15 clients a week outside of my bartending job.
Damn.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a go-getter. I feel like I've learned survival through loss. And I feel like my life lesson to my children that I always tell them is we listen to learn and we learn to listen. And I think that goes hand in hand. We have to listen to learn somebody, and we have to learn to really hear them. Words can be taken out of context. Actions can be taken out of size. But I feel like if we listen to learn, we feel someone's pain and we hear it. And I feel like we have to grow from the losses and the defeat, but we can't give up. We have to learn how to not give up.
You mentioned about losses. You want to shine a light on like what your loss? What are you talking about? You learned through your loss. Like what is some of the biggest losses you've had in your life?
So I lost my mom when I was 21 of a massive heart attack. She was 42.
That's very young.
That was probably one of the toughest things I've ever dealt with. My mom was my best friend. I was raising 2 kids at the time. When I got the phone call, I had probably 20 missed phone calls from my sister. And I mean, we've all been in that moment where we get that phone call and we just know that it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember looking at my phone and I looked up and I said, Lord, don't let this be about my mom. And I called my mom that morning and I said, I'll see you in a little bit, Mom. And she said, Sis, I'm not feeling good. Keep the girls away today. My mom never told me not to come over. I remember feeling empty. I remember feeling like my voice wasn't heard. I remember screaming on the way to the hospital. Growing up, my dad was one of those men, we never had emotions.
Right.
We were never enough, but he let us know that he cared, I guess, if that makes sense. Never seen affection between him and my mom unless it was negative, but I knew he loved her. I never seen the man cry. Pull up at the hospital, my dad's in a fetal position on a pole, sitting on the ground, tears rolling down his face. I remember walking up and no one spoke a word to me. My older brother, my sister, my dad, no one would look me in the eye. And I look at my dad and I said, she's gone. And he didn't say a word to me. Tears were just rolling down his face. I looked at my sister, it was like they didn't see me. And I said, she's gone. And no one said a word. And I was like, I'm going in there. And my dad grabbed me and he said, no, you ain't. And I remember taking off, and it was at a local hospital, and there was a huge helicopter pad. And I remember running towards the interstate. My dad tackled me, and he said, she left me, but you can't.
Right.
I went in finally after an hour or so of being outside. I remember going in, seeing my mom.
You're 21 at the time, right?
Yeah, and I had 2 kids of my own. And all I remember was like the last thing I spoke in her ear was, how am I going to do this without you? And I feel like that is a journey that I never planned to take by myself, but I've had to learn to do alone. Parenting without my parents has been extremely difficult. So fast forward, that was in 2009. My dad in 2019 got diagnosed with small cell lung cancer. It was awful. It was the worst thing I'd ever dealt with in my life. Because after my mom had passed, Dad became what held us together. And I remember walking into the hospital. I took him to the hospital. He wouldn't go for anybody else. I was the baby. I get him in the car, and I'm like, he didn't want to go. And I remember looking him in the eyes, and I was like, how selfish of you. All those times you made mom go to the heart doctor, all the times that you made mom take care of herself, you're not going to go get checked out? And I had that feeling, like before when he was hurting, I was like, oh, it's nothing. But this time, it was like my gut was telling me it wasn't okay. So we walk into the hospital, and within 15 minutes, and I kid you not, it was so quick.
Your dad?
After the x-ray, 15 minutes, the doctor comes in and she says, you have cancer. And I look at him and I look at my sister. Again, my dad doesn't cry. And he looked at me and he said, I'm sorry. And I was like, sorry for what? You didn't choose cancer. Cancer chose you. So he made it to August. August, he ended up passing. So from April to August is the time that we had. Within that time, I'm learning how to navigate getting him to his appointments. My sister was working. My brother was working.
So roughly 4 months.
Yeah. And it went very quick. He didn't want to do chemo.
And what year was it your mom passed?
2009. My dad died in 2019.
So you had a 10-year stretch there.
Mm-hmm.
How was, sorry to get you off, but how was the relationship with your dad after your mom passed? Those 10 years.
For years, it was rocky because he was, so before my mom, he was an alcoholic all my life growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a very ugly alcoholic. And right before my mom died, he was 3 years sober. They were having the time of their life. They were going on vacations. They were doing everything that mom wanted to do.
Right.
So when mom died, he relapsed.
Mm-hmm.
I would get calls from him all night long. And I had 2 kids at this time. My dog, there were 2 and 1. They're 15 months apart. He would call me from a bar and he'd say, you have 15 minutes to get here or I'm ending it. It was very
that's
mentally,
bad.
it was hard.
Yeah. That's not fair to you, but you don't know what he was going through,
right.
but
Him and mom were
again,
high school
that's
sweethearts.
hard. I can understand now,
Yeah.
you know.
Him and mom was high school sweethearts.
You've been through a lot.
Yeah. So I began to get avoidance to him because I would have to get my kids up at 1 and 2 in the morning and go find him. And there was a time that I remember I found him at a local club.
I can relate to you on some of this.
Yeah, it's painful. It's hard. I remember getting to him at a local nightclub. And I was married at the time. And I pull up and my dad has a gun to his head. And I'm banging on the door. And I'm like, what are you doing? What is wrong? I can't do it no more. I can't do it no more. And I'm like, you can. Open the window. Let's chat. And he opens the door. I said, sit the gun down. And at this point, I was not familiar with any firearms. Like I was scared of them because of the image that dad had given me growing up.
Right.
I had seen him put him to my mom's head. I had seen him chase my brother. So
traumatic stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was scared to death of them.
Yeah.
And I get in the car and I'm driving him home. And he said, sis, I just can't live without her. And I remember the one thing I said to him was, it may be uncomfortable. We have to find a new normal. Life doesn't stop because grief comes.
Yeah. He has kids, he has grandkids, he has his life, yeah.
Yes. And I'm like, you're not alone. It feels like you're alone. And now I relate to that. Like being a single mom and going to bed alone, I can only imagine his pain because his best friend wasn't coming back and he couldn't find anymore. Like he had tried dating here and there. But again, like I feel like whenever you have that special person, it just can't be replaced.
Right.
So that was very traumatic. Losing my dad, burying my dad was hard. But then I feel like the hardest of them all was my brother.
So when was your brother?
My brother died in 22.
Wow. You had 3 major losses within 12, 13 years.
Well, so after the day we buried my dad, my grandma, we literally got done burying my dad and we all left to go to Kentucky and his mom passed the day after we buried my dad. My last living grandma. So that was hard. And then fast forward, I had to have an emergency hysterectomy the week after that. And then I buried my brother in 2022 to a massive heart attack.
Wow.
And that was probably the hardest. We know that our parents are most likely going to pass before us.
So what, out of these losses, have you felt yourself needing have you like I know I lost my mom, and I thought like I need to go just talk to someone.
Yeah.
Have you found yourself like going and talking to people, like scheduling therapy per se?
I did therapy for a while.
Yeah, I was going to
Mainly
ask you how
after-
you felt about that. You think that was beneficial? Because I did too. You know, after my mom and my grandma and a few other things, like I
Yeah.
lost a lot of women that was very
Yeah.
close to me all of a sudden.
Mhm.
Seems like you had some things that happened all of a sudden, and you know, you just look at the world different. And I just want to know
100%.
how you know, reacted to, you know, you lost your mom. I get it, you know, and then it was another 10 years. You lost your dad, then your brother, your grandma, or then your grandma, then your brother.
Yeah.
So you've had all this stuff. How are you coping with that? How do you deal with that? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing to help yourself with that? Because you seem like you're very positive.
Yeah.
You got your life together. There's a lot of good things I see
Yeah.
in you, but I understand now that you've had a lot of losses in the
I
past
was
10 to
very
13
angry.
years. So how are you coping with that?
I was very angry at first. I'm a believer, but for a long time, I didn't want to hear anything positive. I had to find that strength. I did go talk to a therapist, but for me personally, I don't know that I found it beneficial because I felt like I was repeating the same thing every time for her to tell me that I have to learn to accept it for what it is, which I agree. I think loss is something that we've got to learn to accept that they aren't coming back before we can move forward. And I was one of those people that I felt like I was living in a nightmare.
Mhm.
Every day it was like, can she just answer my phone call? I mean, I still to this day have their numbers in my phone and think about like, if I could just call them, what would I say? But I feel like it's accepting that they aren't coming back before you can move on to a new normal. And we still celebrate their birthdays. We still celebrate their angel day is what we call it, their death anniversary. But I feel like I've just really had to look back on memories, and I've done a lot of journaling. I've done a lot of self-worth, if I could say, about what I think they would want me to be
Mhm.
and who they would want me to be. And although they're not here physically, I want to leave a legacy. I want my name to stick out. I want to make a difference in someone's life. And if it's one person that listens and thinks I can relate and I get better because of it, I've done my job.
Right. So if you got a viewer out here that's went through some of the same things you've went through, and it's more recent for them, and they feel like, you know, they've got everything bottled up and they don't know what to do. Like, what is some advice you could give them to help them? I mean, have you
Write it down. Write it down. I can go back and read my journal, which I still do.
your thoughts, your
my
feelings,
emotions, just rawness, the ugliness.
let it out
of,
that way. If
yeah,
you can't talk
the
to someone,
ugliness,
write it. What you're
the
saying is,
questions, like if I could speak to God Himself, like the
can you give us an example of something you would write in your journal with, like,
why her?
I know that's
Like, I would
and
just
that's
ask
very
why.
private.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have asked you that.
no,
But
I'm
just to
open.
help someone out here that's
Yeah.
going through like
How do I go on?
yeah.
That was one of the things I would ask daily. Like, how do I go on? This hurt, this wondering. How can I carry on their name? And I feel like it takes a whole lot of strength to look in the mirror and say, they created me and I am who I am because of them. Because we all want to be our own individual person, but we're like, it comes from our parents.
Yeah.
And I know that they would be proud. And I think it just journaling, like you have to accept it for what it is. You know, death is loss, and loss hurts, and it comes with anger. And there's a phase that you must go through, and you have to face it.
So during this time, were you married?
I was married.
You want to talk about that? You want to talk about how that was, or you don't want to touch on that? Like, was that
So
was he
he was not
supportive?
very supportive. And I feel like, honestly, that's when maybe our marriage started to fail. I felt like when my dad passed.
After your dad or
Yeah.
your brother?
My dad. So my brother, I done alone. I was not in a relationship, and I was not married. And which maybe that made it a little tougher, because I was having to be that mom that behind the door, I could cry and I would scream.
Yeah.
But when I walked out, I had 3 little babies looking at me, and they couldn't see that hurt.
Right.
I didn't want them to see the suffering. And so anyhow, back to my dad. I was married. He was working a lot of long hours. His whole priority was money. I get it. Money is something that we need to survive, but I don't think that your relationship should be wrapped around it. So anyhow, he was just working a lot. He wasn't there when my dad was dying. I do remember my sister making a phone call saying like, hey, they're giving dad hours. Like, you really need to come and be here for Tiffany.
So where was he at?
Working. And I
So
respected
did
the life that he
I
wanted.
get that, but did that make you sort of resent him?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
You know? So you're like, hey, one of my weakest moments of my life.
I needed you.
My the guy that's supposed to make me feel,
I needed you.
loved, comfortable with is not even here.
Yeah, I needed you, and
Comfort
you weren't
me.
there. I began to hate him. And when I say hate, like I literally mean that I didn't want the man to touch me. I didn't want him to look at me. And maybe it was a lot of the emotions. I was angry my dad was taken. I was angry that I was dealing with cancer. And those of you that's never dealt with a cancer death, it smells, it's awful. Like it's things that you just can't unsee. He did end up coming home prior to my dad passing, but he went to sleep in the Tahoe. So he wasn't there. He didn't hold my hand. He didn't see the anger, the hurt that I dealt with when I heard my father take his last breath.
Do you think he just didn't know how to cope with it and not know how to deal with it? Or do you just think that he was that worried about his business and cold-hearted and all about him? Or do you think it was a little bit?
He was definitely all about him, always. And I seen that from the day we got married. But I liked that. Like, I really want an entrepreneur. I want somebody who is so good.
Yeah, but there's certain...
Right, exactly. But I do
things.
think that family has to come first.
Mm-hmm.
And so I told him what I needed. I just need you here.
Right.
I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be hurt. But I want to know that I'm loved. I don't want to do this alone.
Yeah.
I remember going to the funeral and we were making the plans. And yeah, he did go with us, but he wasn't there. He was on his phone, or it just was never, I never felt like I had him. Like, yes, he was there physically.
How long were y'all married?
We was married for 8 years.
And that was like the 8th year, the 7th year when this stuff was going on?
So that my dad passed in 2019. We filed for divorce in 2020.
Okay. So
we are still friends. I mean, we still are. We have remained
you're going to be friends after this podcast?
Maybe. I mean, I'm just raw and real. And he'd tell you.
You
like
are.
we
and that's what we want. We want raw and real.
Yes. Like, I mean, it's an ugly, my story's not pretty, but it's not perfect, but it's real. Like, it's real life shit that's happened. And that's made me who I am. That is why I have boundaries. That's why I have self-love. I had to go through a whole lot to love myself again after toxic relationships, after divorces.
So how many marriages have you had?
I've been married twice.
Okay, he was the second one?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the first one. Quickly.
So I got
no,
married.
I'm just kidding. Talk about it.
I'll tell you quickly. So brief rundown. Got married when I was 17, had my first child when I was 17.
And that's your...
kid's dad. All three of them have the same dad.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was your two daughters.
So the reason that we got divorced was because he got a letter in the mail from the child support agency that he had to go have a DNA test for one of my friends.
Was he the dad?
He was not the dad, but
just the being...
Yeah, like, so this boy...
So he cheated on you.
Yeah, this child at the time was 5. He was the same age as my daughter. We were close.
Best friend? Like a good friend?
I wouldn't call her a best friend, but I would call her a good friend.
Yeah.
I actually met her through him, but we had become very close. And whenever her baby daddy, that we all thought was the daddy, got out of the picture, she tried to go get help and assistance, and she needed a dad to put on the birth certificate. I didn't care necessarily that it happened, but the fact that they could be in my face in the same room as me.
What do you mean you didn't care it happened? You didn't care that what happened?
Like, whatever had happened, I don't know. Like, I'm not mad that it happened per se, but I'm mad at the
You're not mad that he cheated on you?
Well, yeah, but like at the fact that they could be in the same room for these years, 5 years. They hid this from me for 5 years. And we would all go out to dinner. She would come over to the house. I never...
So she had a kid, and then 5 years later is when they did the DNA.
Yes. I got home from the hospital with our son. So it was Halloween day.
But was this prior, or was it during your marriage?
It was prior to marriage, but we both were pregnant at the same time.
Okay.
We were still dating. I got with the guy.
Right.
I was 15.
So you don't know if he cheated or not?
I mean, I would consider it. If you're talking to someone staying at their house and you're doing things daily with them.
No. But was this before you got with him?
No.
Oh, okay. I just make sure.
He had told me, I remember the night like it was yesterday. He had told me she needed a ride home to the hotel. She had been drunk. That's when it happened.
Okay.
And I was only 17 at the time, so I was like, oh, we'll go give her a ride. Yeah. Obviously my parents weren't going to let me leave at that time.
Right.
My mom knew a whole lot of what was going on, but my dad, again, was a severe alcoholic and just abusive in some sort. So whenever I found out I was pregnant, I told my mom, like, we have to get married. I'm not telling dad unless I'm married and out of the house. And she's like, I think that's a great idea. So I had called the kid's dad and I said, hey, like we have 6 weeks to get married. At first, he was not about it, but I was like, you're going to make me an honest woman. So we planned a wedding in 6 weeks. And
looking back on that, you...
Yes, I regret it.
Yeah.
We got married because I was pregnant, and
well, I mean,
that was the wrong reason.
We lived in different times then. You know,
Agreed.
that was, what, 15
Agreed.
years ago, 20 years ago? So, you know, we're going back, we're talking about your dating profile. Let's get a little, let's cheer it up a little bit. So, like, what would be some of your interests? What do you like to do? What would you like your significant other to be interested, like common interest, or like things that you would like for him to be into with things that you're into? Like, tell us a little bit about your interests,
I mean,
what you
I'm
like to
pretty
do.
open to anything, honestly. Like,
What you
I
like to
do
do.
outdoors. I love anything outdoors. I love boating. I actually rode a motorcycle for the first time this year. It was pretty fun.
What kind of motorcycle? Dirt bike
a
or Harley?
Harley.
Oh,
It was fun.
by yourself?
No,
I was gonna say, wow.
I was a backpack.
Oh, okay. He was a backpack. Okay.
It was fun though.
So you want a Harley? A guy with a Harley?
No, I don't. It doesn't. No,
All right.
It was just fun. But I do love boating. I like going to the racetrack. One of my favorite memories.
What kind of racing?
Well,
A little bit of
one of
everything?
I like a quarter mile. I actually had a G8, and I loved going to the racetrack. That was pretty fun. I would use the HP tuners myself and
What track did you go to?
Killcare or
Killcare.
Tri-State.
Did you ever go? Like I thought you mentioned like before we talked before about Edgewater.
Edgewater.
So like
would
your
use-
tracks is Killcare, Edgewater, and
Yeah.
what's the
We
other
would
one?
just Tri-State. I think they're closed now. It was
Yeah.
like more towards.
You ever
Like,
been to National
Cleves.
Trails over in Columbus?
I've not,
No, that's a good track. It's
but
near you.
I
Up in
don't. I have
Ohio.
a mom car now, so
Well, I mean, you can still go watch.
yeah, and I like that. Like the kids and I, we
So
go to Rod Run. We do car shows.
So your family's into it. Who
Yes.
races in your family?
My brother-in-law has raced previously. My nephew's building a car. My dad has always had a car when he was alive. We was always doing something. My dad was a heavy diesel mechanic.
So any
and
gearhead
fabricator.
guys out there?
I do love a gearhead. I love a dirty man with his hands for sure.
Yeah, because I mean, like, there's a lot in common with your
Yeah,
family, and
for
like,
sure.
yeah, I get it. So outdoors, racing. What else did you say?
Must have a job. I feel like we live in a
I mean,
society.
I think
where,
everybody's gonna have a job.
No, that's not true. That's not true. But we like to
I
think
mean, so you've met guys that don't have a job
yeah,
from.
that are
in
living
their
off
30s.
of family wealth.
Damn, that sounds nice.
Doesn't it though?
Yeah, why would you not want
I'm
that?
out here working 2 jobs.
Shit. Why would we not want to live off his family wealth?
Well, I just don't think that speaks of your
I
character.
get it. All right. What else on the dating bio that we're gonna like?
I prefer a man who has kids, just not babies.
I was gonna say earlier we talked about this
Just
a little bit
not
on the dating
babies.
stuff. You're like, all
I
right.
want a man who has been
All
a
right.
father because I think that they understand love differently.
Yeah, you got common ground there.
Yes.
You know, you both raise kids.
Yes.
What about if he does have kids and he, you find out later that he was never really a part of his kid's life, but he told you he was?
That's
Has
tough.
that happened?
That's tough too. I try to be open and listen. Like,
Yeah,
why
because
wasn't you a
because
part?
the
Sometimes women don't
yeah
make it easy.
so they hide or
Yes.
take
or
the
they make
kid
it fight, or it's
away,
all
or-
about money.
yeah.
A lot of women and men maybe are all about money. What are you going to pay if I let you see him
Yeah.
or her or whatnot?
okay. All right, so where are we at? Where we want to go with this? You want to go somewhere with this? I mean, we're talking about dating bios. We sort of talked. What else do you want to touch on? We're going to talk about a lot more stuff. I got a few more things. You know, I know I got a couple questions I want to ask you, but is there anything that we've left out so far that you want your story that we haven't touched on that people need to know or people can learn from, certain things that you've lived? You know, we've talked about a lot already.
Mhm.
We've talked about your dating. We've talked about your losses. We've touched a little bit on, you know, what you like in a guy.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit. Did we talk about your work? You said you was a bartender. You do nails. So let's talk about you and your girls, your nail girls. Like, how's that? Like, y'all get over there and you're doing her nails, and what do y'all talk about?
We talk
What do
about
y'all talk
everything.
about?
I will be honest, it's mostly very vulgar.
I know. Let's hear
Girl
it.
talk
Let's
is
hear it.
nasty.
What,
We
what's a
talk
typical
about-
conversation with you and say you have a party, like you have nail parties and y'all get a little tipsy?
I actually travel to quite a bit of homes. As long as there's
If y'all want
four
a
or
nail
more,
party, hit her up.
I'm your girl. I don't mind to travel to go to their homes as long as it's worth my time.
Right.
But a typical nail party starts out, they want to know my dating life because
Of
everybody
course, it's
says they're
juicy.
living vicariously through
It's
me.
juicy.
And I'm always like, I don't have any good dating stories, but there was this one guy. And so that's usually
Oh,
how
girl,
it starts.
tell me.
That's
Yeah.
always how it is.
And they're like, oh no, he's He's not good for you.
Oh, I get that. I get that. My nail girls are very open
And
and honest.
and don't lie. Do they have you call the guy and like
Oh,
listen
yeah,
in?
100%
Listen in.
sometimes.
But do you tell the guy sometimes that they're listening?
No, absolutely not.
So they get to hear the tea all
Yeah.
like right, and then
Absolutely.
you're like, shh, I'm gonna call him.
Yeah, I'm like, don't say a word.
Is that really what girls do?
Yes. But I will be like, I'm sitting here doing nails and I just missed your voice or something. Like, I do spruce it up a little bit.
And then the girls are like, seriously.
Yeah, but then when I hang up, they'll be like, oh, he's
girls
into
too,
you, or maybe he's
like,
not.
all right, look, I'm not trying to get too vulgar, but they're like, is he good in bed? Like, if you've been talking to him for a while, they're like, is he good in bed? Do they
Yeah,
ask
and
you
I tell
questions?
them
Like, I want to know as girls, like older,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, sometimes we get in depth to like what our favorite position may have been.
really?
Like, we're vulgar. We're raw.
Girls, are y'all really that raw?
We're raw.
I want to know in the comments.
We can be dirty. Dirty.
Let's hear your dirtiest story in the comments, girls. I want to hear it.
We can, and I mean,
You know, on
most
the M
women like
Chandler,
it.
on the M Chandler, the Mike Chandler show, we're getting dirty and naughty over here
Yes.
tonight. So,
There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I feel like we have made,
so if they were like, girl, what's your favorite position with him? Like,
Mhm.
would you tell them?
yeah,
Okay, what would it be?
I'm a doggy style girl. Hands down. Like, put me on all fours.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, with you know, all right, we're mature here. You've talked to, I'm sure, and dated a
This
few
is
guys.
going south real quick.
Yeah, well, let's get it naughty. What about if he says, yeah, I'm gonna give it to you like that tonight, blah blah blah, but you find out he has an OnlyFans, and he's like, I have an OnlyFans, and you've been dating him for, this is your third date, and you
Mhm.
really like him,
Yeah.
and he has an OnlyFans, and he's like, would you consider being on my OnlyFans?
No face, no case. I'm kidding.
She's gonna be on his OnlyFans. You know you got to verify yourself and all that.
I don't have an OnlyFans.
I know you don't.
But
What about if it's a guy you really like, and are you like, oh no, that's not that? Are you
I
going
mean,
to
if I
completely
could-
judge you? No. Listen. Like, what about if he has an OnlyFans, but he's not like a very vulgar type of guy on there, and he's just like,
if I could get rich doing things that I love, that would be one of them.
would you have an OnlyFans? You know, like I know some couples that don't really show their whole face.
Yeah.
Would you do that with your significant other if y'all were making a lot of money?
If we were in a committed relationship,
Yeah,
yes,
in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
You would do that.
I would.
How many other females would do what Tiffany just said she would do? I want to know.
I mean, I feel like a committed relationship makes a difference. Like,
Okay, what about if it's not a committed relationship and
No.
y'all been talking for a
No.
minute? Don't lie.
no,
Y'all been talking.
No.
Sex was good.
No.
He was like, just want to let you know I'm a big time OnlyFans creator. I know I hid this from you, but
No.
this is actually
Not a
how
chance.
this is actually how I make my living.
not
I
a
do
chance.
6 figures a month on it.
Not a chance.
I really like you. I really want you to be a part of it with me.
No, like we need to be committed.
Okay. I could so does it go against your values and your
No,
religion?
I mean, I feel like social media is a platform that we can make a lot of money off of if done correctly.
Mhm.
And I think that that's
You
what
think
it's
you're going to
there
get
for.
roasted in the comments? Like a
Oh.
bunch of females are going to be like, what do you want to tell the female? It's like, ew, never. That is so gross.
Girl, that's
Because they're
you.
going to. They're going to. They're going to be like, that is so disrespectful to yourself.
You know
and that's
what
so
my mom always
gross.
used to
And
say, if you don't do it, someone else will. I am okay with roasting. Like, I don't live my life to please people. And the life that I've lived, a lot of people probably couldn't. So it's okay.
as long as you're in a committed relationship
Yeah,
and you
like,
know you love one
I
another,
want to be happy. And
you're
if,
fine like sharing your intimate self
I
online.
think intimacy is a beautiful thing.
It's art.
And we
You want to do it in
la-
an art way.
And we lack that. Like, people think that sex
So
is...
what type of content would you what type of
Oh,
OF
gosh.
content would it be?
Well, I don't know. I've never been in that position.
What would you say no
Um,
to? You getting on all
so
fours on
vulgar.
OnlyFans?
Maybe. I mean, I don't
Are you
going to
make me cut this later? You're gonna
Yeah.
call me and say cut this? No, tell me.
No, I don't mind.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I don't mind. Like, I'm okay with being roasted. There's going to be a lot of people not okay with what we're talking about. You're the
I
one
like
roasted.
this because she did say she's real raw.
Yeah, and honest.
You're vulgar too.
Yes, and I'm honest.
You're not vulgar. You can be vulgar
Right.
with talking about this.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people just need to be more open about it. I do think a lot of people would do it. They're just worried about what other people would think
Well, and
about
what
them.
happened to, like, when we were growing up, and Like, I'm sure you remember those like sex commercials where it's just sex.
I remember listening to Talk Sex with Brenda when I was a little
Yes.
kid.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes. And
She
like,
would have a dildo out talking about how y'all need to.
how you stroke it, and this is how you use it. And
I was like 8 to 10 years old
watching
listening.
this.
Yes. Watching. What was it? Talk. Do you remember though? Honestly,
I do remember
it was
that.
on
And
cable TV, but it's after hours.
and then it would be like, it's just sex.
Yeah.
But
Howard Stern, he would like talk vulgar on there. We grew up
listening to that.
listening to this stuff and like.
Yeah. Like, do I think that sex is an art and it's beautiful when it's with the right person?
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So how do you feel about these OnlyFans models that are out here collabing with multiple?
I mean, girl, do what you do, but it's personally
It's
not
not for
something
you.
I could do.
But you would do it with somebody
The
that
right
you
person.
okay.
You're stupid.
I don't have an OF anyways.
Oh, that's funny.
But
I think we have made sex such
I'm
a
not gonna say I might not ever have one.
we have made sex such a like very a topic that is so nonchalant. Like, everybody's uncomfortable when it comes to sex.
Not you.
I'm not like at all. But I think that is where a lot of us like stray from. Like, I think that you have to have chemistry and intimacy for a relationship to be successful.
Okay. I like that. Let's get off the
sex thing.
Well, we were talking about your nail parties and how vulgar you get, and I just I took it there. I'm sorry. What else? I mean, what else are some things that you think's wild? What is something that you and your girls would talk about that guys would never think y'all talk about?
Cars. We've talked about cars and cams and drive shafts, and there's been some girls, we've had some pretty hot topics on that.
Okay. She's wanting her gearhead OnlyFans model guy over here.
Here I go.
What is something that you've never really publicly expressed about yourself or told anyone publicly that you want to right now? You're ready to say it publicly.
Oh man,
There's
that's just a
something
tough
out there
one.
that's more private to you and you're close that you're ready to let it out. Is there something like that? You're ready to like say something in that you've never really said about yourself publicly?
Like I'm pretty open. Like, honestly, like I really am an open book. I mean, for the longest time, I can honestly say I was embarrassed about being a young mom.
Well, I wanted to go. Here we go. They're going to get on to me for interrupting. But go ahead. You was embarrassed by being young.
Like, but I really think that like I'm very open. Like, I really am an open book. I'm one of those girls. If you ask me, I'm going to tell you the truth and the raw and the ugly.
You know where I was going with this?
Tell me.
What were we talking about before the show? A magazine?
Oh my gosh.
Have you publicly like?
I have never publicly announced that I was in a magazine.
She's in a magazine.
I didn't do it
ain't
for
just
long.
any magazine. It involves whipped cream.
It does.
Did it no clothes at all, or just all whipped
I
cream?
can give you a sneak peek of them.
Let me see. Can I see? I mean, it's in a magazine. Can I look, viewers? Is it okay for me to look?
I mean, it's not terrible.
You have to bring it here.
Oh, I gotta find.
Can I go over there? Can I go over there? Right,
hold on, I gotta find them.
Holy well.
Hold on, give me just a second.
God.
Listen,
she's got them in her hidden. You should have them like favorited.
I should.
Yeah, that should be something you'd be proud of.
Really?
Yeah.
Whipped
cream, like Varsity Blues. Is it like Varsity Blues whipped cream bikini? Was it a whipped cream bikini?
No, it was
just on like your nipples.
It was whipped cream on my nipples.
Oh, you should have done the whipped cream bikini like Varsity Blues. You remember Varsity Blues?
This was a whole shoot. I honestly.
What was her name? Oh, on Varsity Blues. What was her name? You remember her name? Anybody remember her name?
I never expected this to actually
she was like,
be published.
Mox. Mox was the quarterback's name. She said something. She's like, Mox, come here, or something. But she had her whipped cream bikini on. I was like,
I mean,
10 years old, 11 years old. I'm like,
Sunday?
Oh my God, that is so freaking sexy. I would love for a girl to tell me to come over to her house, and then she's like, hey, I'll be right back. And then she walks back in where we were in the living room, and she's like, Mike, turn around, or something like that. And then she had her whipped cream bikini on. And here we go talking about your magazine and the whipped cream bikini. She can't find a damn picture.
I got it.
And I want to see it.
Okay.
Because I'm that guy. That's not you.
That's the cover.
Stop.
There was a 4-page cover.
Let me see the other one.
You're going to make me try to
Let me see
find the
the
other
other
one. Okay, let me go to the other one.
She's a tease.
Well, isn't that what keeps you coming back?
She's a tease.
Isn't that what keeps me? Okay, here's the
Yeah.
other ones.
Yeah. That's better than the Varsity Blues.
You're
No,
stupid.
seriously, that's fucking sexy. God, I'm gonna get in trouble.
I
I'm gonna get in
didn't do
trouble
it
on here with
long.
you.
I didn't do it long.
I bet.
I didn't.
So what'd you get paid? Did you get paid?
I did.
Big money.
Not big, but enough. We'll not go into dollar amounts.
So how did you get approached? Like, oh, I need you to be in this magazine, or did
No,
you write in?
A local photographer who does this had contacted
God,
me.
you got
and
me
she
all
was
worked
like,
up. Hang on.
had
All right, go ahead.
contacted me, and she was like, can I photograph you? And I was like, sure. She had brought along someone who was really big with a modeling agency. I am not going to explicit names just because, like, respect for them and their.
Mm-hmm.
However, we filmed this, or we done this photography in a creek, and at the end of it, he had said, "I would love to film you again, and video you, and take pictures of you." And there was like short clips.
How long ago was this?
2022.
Was you, when he said that, was you like taken back, or was you a little worried? Or you're like, oh, he's cool.
At that time, I didn't know my self-worth. I was digging into loving myself. I was getting
well, it was
out,
right after that. Yeah.
I was getting out of a toxic relationship.
And the losses. Yeah.
Yes. So
Okay.
I had no love for myself. I did not see what they were seeing. So when I was approached, I was like, are you sure? Like, I'm not really comfortable in front of the camera. And he was like, no, like, you have potential.
Yeah, you
Like,
did.
you need to see your work.
Going back to looking at you had potential.
Yeah. He was like, you need to see your work.
Yeah.
So that was, I done the creek session, and I did go topless. But I have always said I would never go fully nude.
Yeah, I thought that was classy. I mean, you were very sexy in it. You had the whipped cream over your nipples, but you did have your bottoms on. You wasn't very vulgar. I think it was more classy, arty, like art.
So
arty.
then I was approached by a local modeling agency in Cincinnati, and I had went to them, and I did sign with them for a short time. However, like, how modeling works is you are either considered an asset or a liability. If you're not making them money, you're a liability. And a lot of that with signing contracts comes with actions. Like, you have to take certain actions to get you out there, portfolio, certain poses. And I guess I'm terrible about reading the fine lines. So I done this. They published it in the magazine. It got published, which... This magazine, you have to send in these photos, write a little description, whatever. They choose who they want to choose. Well, then I had went and met with my agency, and they were saying to me, we want you to go fully nude. And I was like, whoa. No, like, I'm not your girl for that. So I didn't continue because of that.
I'm going to go back about 3 to 4 minutes in this conversation. A while ago, we were talking about all fours.
Well,
and
I didn't
OnlyFans.
have the confidence that I have now.
I was getting ready to say, we were talking about OnlyFans. You said if you was in a committed relationship, you would do that. And you were talking about no face, no case. But I guess your face and all that would be in it. So you would do the OnlyFans if it wasn't your face in it?
I mean, I would, yes.
So now you would probably do the full nude.
I can't say I would. I don't, because I have children. And that's like my biggest pet peeve.
What about if they never know?
Come on. If it's on the internet, you can find it.
I mean.
Stop. We live in a society where you just search someone's name and all their business pops up.
I get it. I understand. So, yeah.
So anyhow, the modeling stopped very shortly after it started because the expectations that were
they
presented
wanted
to
more
me-
and more
yes,
and more and more.
Yes.
So what was, you're not allowed to say the magazine?
I mean, I would rather not.
What type of magazine? What type of content did they put out in their magazine? Was it like Playboy
Seductive,
or was
seductive, playful.
Was it more like, was it like Playboy or?
I wouldn't call it play. Well, I mean, some of the girls were raw.
Okay, in your article, did they write something about you?
No,
Like what? So what did they write in it?
It wasn't. So you write in telling them why you want to be published and whatnot,
Right.
and they choose based off of that and your pictures, obviously. But a lot of these girls that were in this magazine were not afraid to be playful with themselves and explicit.
So you wasn't ready for that at that time.
Yeah.
But today she is. So if you want to contact her again,
Stop.
Mr. Magazine guy, she's ready to be in it.
No, not true. Not true.
Shit.
But I think I probably needed that boost in my confidence, because when I seen those pictures posted, I was like, wow, like maybe I am pretty. Maybe I do need to love myself a little more to value really what I bring to the table. Not just my looks, but I know that my heart has always been in whatever I do wholeheartedly, which is why whenever they presented that to me, I was like, can I be proud of this in years to come? I mean, could I be proud looking back when I'm 60,
Right.
completely spread open in a magazine?
Yeah, it was the sexiest time of your life.
I think the sexiest time of my life.
I mean,
would
I
have
think
to be
that's something you could be like, hell yeah.
I made it. I done it.
Yeah. But let's get off the magazine. All right, so here we go. We're gonna ask you some rapid questions. Then I'm gonna have you close out. Is that okay? I'm gonna have you close out differently.
Okay.
Because I was like, I'm gonna tell you, but that's been like the last 4 episodes.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you close out.
I think this whole episode's been raw, so keep it real.
I'm gonna have you close out differently. Well, I have the questions.
Kind of like I had the pictures pulled up.
Yes.
You look like you have them ready.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
What does spoiled actually look like to you? What does being spoiled, like Tiffany's being spoiled, look like to you? Give me some examples.
I would say Roses Weekly. I love a fresh set of red roses. I love random spa days. And coffee. Who doesn't want a 7 Brew or Starbucks daily?
What else? Because you're living up to that high maintenance thing that TikTok guy said.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
Roses Weekly.
I'm
a
just
spa
saying,
day every other day.
For my birthday, I would love
nails done,
a new
toes done.
Cadillac yearly.
Yeah, guys. She's high maintenance.
I'm just kidding.
Now that TikTok guy. No, you're not kidding. You are not kidding. I knew that was a perfect question to start this little.
It would be nice, just saying. But I spoil myself.
Okay, so while we're here, we never touched on this. What do you expect your guy? And you're going to say, oh, I don't expect anything. But with all reality and all realness here, what do you want your guy to make a year?
Oh, my gosh. I don't know.
What's the salary need to be?
I've honestly never thought of that. Like,
Ideally.
100,000. I think that's idea.
Okay. 100,000, guys. And I can tell by just talking to her and all that, it's more than that. She just don't want to say it.
No, that's not. Why do you think that's more?
You just sat there and said you wanted the Cadillac yearly. You wanted your nails done. You wanted coffee every day.
I do my own nails.
You wanted
period.
What else did you say?
I pay for my own car right now.
You said something else too.
But it would be nice.
Spa days.
You ask what
every
spoiled,
other day.
No, zip it. You
massages.
asked what spoiled looked like, and I told you that.
Well,
doesn't
he better
mean
make more than 100,000 to be able to give you all that, plus support himself. And if he, God forbid, he has 2 or 3 kids,
right?
He better make about 300,000.
You're so ridiculous.
So let's tell her to quit lying. All right, so here we go. We're gonna ask you another one.
Okay.
Well, this will apply to you because you have a side hustle and sometimes you need help, and then you can relate it to finding help at your work. What's harder to find? Good help in business or your work, or a man who communicates?
A man who communicates.
I knew she'd say that.
All day long.
Is that really everyone's?
Yes,
is it like how many?
Is
it 9 out of 10? 9 out of 10 guys you talk to?
100%.
Is there? And then if he does communicate, then he's a stalker and he's over communicating. You never can find that happy medium, right? I figured.
And it's always I'm busy. I'm too busy.
I don't know if we touched on this before, but what's one boundary you refuse to bend on anymore, like business or dating? You can say both or just dating. One boundary you refuse to bend on anymore. You're not going to bend on this boundary anymore. Something that you may have let slide before. Dating, in your 20s, 30s.
100% dating. If you can't reciprocate the same energy, I'm not bending my back to continue it. I have been with people who I have gone out of my way. Birthday's a really big thing for me. Like, I feel like that's all of our special days. I'm one of those people that if it's your birthday, we're doing top notch. If it's my birthday and someone can't make me feel special or whatnot, like I'm not bending on that boundary. Like I set boundaries based on.
So you want them to make you feel special on your birthday. And if you can't do that, you're not bending. God,
I'm not going to stop on this communication thing, or reciprocating energy. Like, if things aren't working, like, just say that we're grown.
Right.
Why continue to drag out something so silly?
Okay.
So communication, making me feel special, matching energies. That's a boundary I will never, ever, ever let go again.
Finish the sentence.
Oh, shish. Let's see. Let's hear
I'm
it.
not high maintenance. I just,
Like nice things.
I'm high maintenance.
No, stop. Stop that.
Okay, that's good.
I'm
not high
myself.
maintenance. I'm not high maintenance. I just, give me another one.
Enjoy.
The finer things.
I thought you said let me finish it.
I know. Go ahead.
I enjoy nice things.
Same thing. Okay. All right. What's one habit you picked up from survival mode that you're trying to unlearn?
Overthinking. I overthink everything. Something as little as creating a grocery list.
Or the new date? Like the guy that's wanting you to go on a date, you're like, should I go?
Should I go?
not?
I cancel 85% of my dates.
You procrastinate too?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
On my way there, I'll be like, oh, I'm sick or I'm not feeling well. I've actually got as close to being in the parking lot and like, I just can't do this.
What's the biggest misconception people have about single moms who hustle, or just misconception people have about you?
That we like being alone. I feel like that people think that single moms want to be alone, that we want to do it alone. And I think that is so underlining. Nobody wants to do this alone. I have created this survival that I have to, so the life of my kids doesn't have to be changed or transparent against.
But we did touch earlier on about you can be successful alone, but you don't want.
I don't want to be.
Right.
But I think that whenever a single mom is thriving, people think that that's what she wants to do. And that's not true. I mean, no, I don't want to do this alone. However, that's a survival method that I've learned. I've learned to hustle, whether it be I work both jobs and I'm gone 18 hours out of the 24, and that has happened.
Right.
I've just learned that I have to do what I have to do so my kids don't have to suffer.
Okay. That's good. Good answer. All right. So we're gonna close this out, and I'm gonna ask you a question. No, one more question before I close out. What's one thing you're proud of that nobody sees behind the scenes?
My children.
That's where I want to go with this. That's not what we're going to close on, but I want to touch on your children, and I knew that you were going to go there. So if you want to touch on that, what are you proud of with them?
How much they've accomplished. My daughter going to Ohio State, getting accepted into Ohio State, her dream of becoming a dentist. This summer, she told me she was going to take a year off and not go to college, and we sat down and we kind of had a heart-to-heart about quitting. You know, when the road gets tough and the tough gets going, everybody wants to have a break.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we get comfortable in those breaks to where we don't want to try harder. And we had a reality, just a real talk. Like, reality is reality. And if you stop now, you're not going to pick it back up. You're going to keep going. Let's give it one semester. Well, I'll tell you that one semester she strived and she finished with all A's.
Awesome. Good.
And just like my 17-year-old, she loves showing cattle. We've had a little bit of break. It was an awful, ugly break. And she took it upon herself to be an entrepreneur. And she is now at a new home, showing cattle, thriving, being the best version that she's ever been. She is actually going to tour Ohio State judging
She's an entrepreneur doing what now?
She's like got her own team behind her.
Really?
So we were showing with an ex, ended very ugly. She strives in showing cattle. Like, this girl lives to be at cattle shows and judge livestock. So she took it upon herself to get her own team together, people that followed her, supported her. I mean, as far as like people going to get her animals so she could show them.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I feel like as a mom, I've never allowed them to give up. I've never allowed the bare minimal to be acceptable.
Okay. I love it. So we're going to end this. If you had your own merch line that you were dropping right after this podcast, what would be your saying or your thing you'd put on your shirt, your sweater to sell that you want people to remember from this podcast?
I would do faith over fear.
Faith over fear?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because anything that we're scared of, we're not ever going to accomplish. Go into it full force, head on.
Cool.
Speak it into existence. Let's do it.
Let's do the damn thing. Speak it into existence. The Mike Chandler Show, bringing that raw, real energy with Tiffany from Ohio. We really appreciated her coming in. She actually drove here, and I want to give her a big thanks for coming in. And we'll tag her in the comments. Let you know who Tiffany is. Hopefully, you enjoyed the story that Tiffany shared. She shared a lot of real, raw, some fun things, some sad things, some naughty things. We was all over the
We
place.
was.
But we had a great show today, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Mike Chandler Show. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Petty down.